Have you ever wondered why you or your elderly loved one often wake up at exactly 3 a.m., night after night? There's no noise, no nightmares, yet the body seems to have a secret biological clock that wakes it up at that hour. If you've ever lain awake, silently in the dark, hearing only the ticking of the clock and the steady rhythm of your own breathing in a quiet house, you're not alone. Many older adults are experiencing the same thing, a strange and consistent awakening that leaves them both puzzled and concerned about their health and sleep quality. The truth is, waking up in the early hours isn't always harmless. It may be a sign of natural biological changes due to aging, but it could also be a silent warning of mental health issues, sleep disorders, or even potential risks related to the cardiovascular or nervous system. However, don't panic just yet. This video will help you understand the common reasons why older adults often wake up at 3 a.m., from hormonal changes, hidden stress, to seemingly harmless lifestyle habits. More importantly, you'll learn how to improve your sleep through small, practical steps that bring long-term results. If this topic resonates with you or your loved ones, hit like to help spread this valuable information to more people. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section below. Now let's dive deeper to understand why the body wakes up at 3 a.m. and what it might really be telling you. Deep sleep used to come naturally for many people in their younger years, but as we enter middle age and older adulthood, maintaining uninterrupted sleep through the night becomes increasingly difficult. One common yet often overlooked cause is the decline of melatonin, a crucial hormone that regulates the body's sleep-wake cycle. Did you know that after age 60, the body begins to produce significantly less melatonin? This hormone, often referred to as the hormone of darkness, is only secreted in the absence of light and serves as a signal that it's time for the body to rest. It helps you fall asleep and stay in a stable sleep state throughout the night. When melatonin levels decline, the body loses this biological support, especially during the most sensitive hours, between 2 and 4 a.m. Moreover, age also affects how the body processes light, a key trigger for the pineal gland to produce melatonin. Older adults' eyes absorb less light, especially natural daylight. When seniors spend extended time indoors, particularly during the darker winter months, the body receives fewer signals to initiate melatonin secretion in the evening. As a result, sleep becomes lighter and often ends earlier than usual. The good news, however, is that you can naturally support your body's melatonin production. One of the simplest ways is to get morning sunlight exposure. Just 30 minutes a day can help reset the biological clock, signaling when to be alert and when to wind down. In the evening, reduce blue light exposure from electronic devices at least an hour before bedtime. Additionally, keeping the bedroom dark, quiet, and cool helps the body maintain natural melatonin production throughout the night. If you still struggle to fall back asleep after waking at 3 a.m., consider whether your environment may be disrupting your rest. A slight noise, a sliver of light, or even a room that's too warm, all can trigger awakenings during these particularly vulnerable hours. In some cases, taking a low-dose melatonin supplement, from 0.3 to 1 milligram, may help improve sleep quality. However, it's important to consult a doctor first, especially if you're managing chronic health conditions or taking other medications. While we can't fully reverse biological changes over time, adjusting our lifestyle habits and sleep environment is entirely within our control. By starting with small changes, going outside in the morning, reducing nighttime blue light, and keeping your room dark at night, you can gradually reclaim control over your sleep. Once you understand melatonin's role in sleep and why its levels decline with age, you'll be better equipped to care for your rest. And this is just one part of the story. Let's continue and explore another natural factor that causes early morning awakenings: the shift in sleep cycles as we age. Another common phenomenon experienced by many older adults, yet rarely recognized correctly, is the change in the body's natural sleep cycle. The human body operates on an internal biological clock known as the circadian rhythm, and this clock does not remain constant over time. As we age, it begins to shift, and as a result, so does our sleep. Many older individuals notice that they begin feeling sleepy earlier in the evening, sometimes as early as 7 or 8 p.m. This is not unusual. In fact, it's a reflection of how the biological clock adjusts as the body enters the aging phase. Biological signals such as body temperature, hormone production, and energy levels all begin to shift into night mode earlier, preparing the body for rest even if one's daily routine has not changed accordingly. The problem arises when you go to bed at 8 p.m., and by around 3 a.m., your body believes it has slept enough. The average sleep cycle lasts about 7 to 8 hours, so if sleep begins early, waking up early is a natural consequence. The body does not recognize that it is still the middle of the night outside. It simply responds to internal cues. As a result, you wake up at 3 a.m. feeling alert, but unable to return to sleep. This not only affects daytime fatigue, but can also lead to emotional disturbances, reduced concentration, and even cardiovascular health risks if it persists. The good news is, the circadian rhythm can be adjusted, and without medication or complex interventions. You can start by retraining your biological clock. One effective method is to delay your bedtime gradually, by 15 to 30 minutes at a time, until you're falling asleep at a more appropriate hour, such as 10 p.m. Along with this, maintain a consistent wake-up schedule, even on weekends, to help the body reset to a steady rhythm. Additionally, exposure to bright light in the evening, between 6 and 8 p.m., can help delay the internal clock. A bright lamp, or simply spending time in a well-lit room during these hours, can signal to the brain that it's still daytime. Conversely, in the early morning, try to minimize exposure to strong light if you wish to sleep longer. Blackout curtains or a sleep mask can help. Physical activity in the late afternoon, rather than early morning, is another small trick that can delay sleepiness. Light exercises such as walking, yoga, or stretching can provide a temporary energy boost, helping you stay alert longer and feel sleepy at a later time. Lastly, you can redesign your evening activities to keep yourself more occupied and avoid false fatigue. Instead of passively watching TV, try reading, journaling, playing light games, or chatting with a loved one. These activities help keep the brain engaged, extending wakefulness to a more suitable bedtime. Changes in sleep cycles with age are natural, but not inevitable. With the right adjustments, you can absolutely restore balance between your body's need for rest and your internal biological clock. And now, let's continue our journey by exploring another common reason why older adults often experience disrupted sleep at night: physical discomfort and silent health issues that arise after dark. Not everyone realizes that nighttime is when the body speaks the loudest. As the environment quiets down, the lights dim, and the mind begins to settle, that's also when physical discomforts that were silent during the day suddenly become much more noticeable, especially for older adults. These discomforts are not just normal signs of aging, but are also among the most common reasons people wake up in the middle of the night and cannot fall back asleep. Joint pain is one of the most frequently reported causes. Arthritis, spinal degeneration, or even old minor injuries can make the body uncomfortable when lying in one position for too long. During the day, we move and shift often, so the pain is less noticeable. But when lying still for hours, especially between 2 and 4 a.m., aches, soreness, or stiffness can interrupt sleep. Another common issue is nocturia, the need to urinate during the night, which becomes more prevalent with age due to declining bladder function, medication side effects, or prostate issues in men. Getting up to use the bathroom can make it hard to fall asleep again, especially if the room is too bright or if the mind starts racing with unwanted thoughts. Another factor not to be overlooked is gastroesophageal reflux disease, GERD. When lying down, stomach acid can rise into the esophagus, causing a burning sensation in the chest, a bitter taste in the mouth, or even mild breathlessness. These symptoms can wake you in the middle of the night, and if they occur regularly, your sleep may be severely affected without you even realizing the cause. Additionally, many medications commonly used by older adults, such as diuretics, blood pressure medications, or antidepressants, may have side effects that disrupt sleep. Some experience increased nighttime urination, while others make the body more sensitive to noise or light. In a room where even a slight creak might wake you, a heightened sensitivity from medications can easily break an already fragile sleep cycle. The good news is, you don't have to accept this as an inevitable part of aging. On the contrary, there are many gentle yet effective strategies to improve sleep quality. First, begin by listening to your body. If you consistently wake up at the same time with discomfort, try adjusting your sleeping position or investing in pillows and mattresses that support your back and neck. Some people sleep better on their side, while others benefit from slightly elevated pillows to prevent acid reflux. Second, if frequent nighttime urination is an issue, try limiting fluid intake after 7 p.m. Also, talk to your doctor about the timing of any diuretics. Sometimes switching from evening to morning doses is enough to reduce nighttime bathroom trips. For acid reflux, avoid eating late or having overly large dinners. Raising the head of the bed by 4 to 6 inches or using a wedge pillow can help prevent acid from rising when lying down. And most importantly, if you suspect that a medication is interfering with your sleep, do not stop it on your own. Instead, consult your doctor about adjusting the dose or timing to better align with your body's natural rhythms. Sleep is not just a time for rest. It is the foundation of recovery, immunity, memory, and emotional well-being. Improving sleep doesn't start with your bed. It starts with understanding your body and listening to the smallest signals it sends each night. Now that we've explored the physical discomforts that can disrupt sleep, let's move on to another factor, seemingly ordinary yet powerfully influential on your biological clock: your daily lifestyle habits. Sometimes it's the seemingly harmless things, eating dinner early, being physically inactive, or having an overly quiet evening, that indirectly cause older adults to wake up at 3 a.m. Without any deep biological changes, daily routines alone can be enough to disrupt the body's natural sleep rhythm. In many households, especially among retirees, daily routines tend to become more gentle and earlier. Dinner is often served at 5 or 6 p.m., time spent outdoors decreases, and there are fewer mentally stimulating evening activities, all of which signal the biological clock that it's time to rest. When the body goes to sleep around 8 or 9 p.m., waking up at 3 a.m. is perfectly logical. Quite simply, the sleep cycle has run its course. In addition, when no longer working or caring for family, older adults have fewer anchors to structure time, such as fixed schedules, meetings, or commuting. While a slower pace of life can be beneficial for mental health, it can also disturb sleep rhythms if there are no clear milestones throughout the day. Another often underestimated factor is an environment that is too quiet and lacks stimulation in the evening. When the house goes dark early, the TV is turned off, conversations end, and the mind is no longer distracted. The body quickly slips into a deeply relaxed state. This can lead to falling asleep very quickly, but also waking up very early. To address this, there's no need for drastic lifestyle changes. Even gentle adjustments in daily habits can make a noticeable difference in sleep quality. First, take a look at your dinner schedule. If you're eating too early, before 6 p.m., try shifting your meal to a slightly later time, around 6:30 to 7 p.m., to extend your waking hours. This helps slow down the biological clock, delaying the natural bedtime. Second, increasing light physical activity in the late afternoon or early evening can help the body feel tired in a positive way, rather than just sluggish from inactivity. A light walk after dinner or a simple stretching routine can help sustain energy levels and lead to deeper sleep at night. Additionally, try to incorporate light yet engaging activities in the evening. This could include playing board games with family, reading uplifting books, listening to soft music, or calling friends for a chat. These activities don't cause stress, but they help keep the mind alert until a more reasonable bedtime. Most importantly, maintain consistency. Older adults' bodies are highly sensitive to sudden changes. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends, allows the biological clock to reset in a stable and consistent way. Many believe that waking up early is normal in old age, but in reality, it's a sign that the rhythm of life and sleep has become unbalanced. With just a few small changes in your daily habits, you can bring your body back into sync, allowing sleep to last longer and go deeper. Now let's take a deeper look into a particularly subtle yet powerful factor: the emotional and psychological element, which often creeps silently into an older adult's sleep during the quietest moment of all, 3 a.m. There is a kind of awakening in the middle of the night that doesn't stem from physical pain or changes in biological rhythms, but arises from deep within the mind. It's the feeling of restlessness, anxiety, or an endless stream of thoughts that surface when the world around us is completely still. For many older adults, especially those no longer caught in the rush of daily life, the mind becomes most active at 3 a.m. When we're younger, it's easy to push worries aside with work, children, appointments, and social obligations. But in retirement, or when living alone, the inner world becomes wide open, and long-frozen thoughts begin to thaw. These may be worries about health, about loss, loneliness, or the feeling of something unfinished in life. Questions like, "Have I lived well enough?" or "What will happen when I'm gone?" rarely appear during the day, but become as clear as a ticking clock in the quiet hours of the night. This phenomenon is not uncommon. The human mind tends to replay its worries when there are fewer distractions, and since older adults tend to wake earlier, particularly between 2 and 4 a.m., this becomes a window where negative emotions easily rise. There are no cars passing, no TV in the background, only silence. And the mind, if unguided, will find something to dwell on. If this persists, it may lead to mild anxiety, depression, or simply poor sleep quality that leaves one feeling drained and unmotivated the next day. The good news is, there are many ways to gently soothe the mind, not by avoiding thoughts, but by creating space for emotions to be processed in a healthier way. One of the most effective methods is journaling in the evening. It doesn't need to be long, just a few lines to record your thoughts, feelings, or something you're grateful for that day. This helps untangle the mind and release silent worries before bed. Meditation or slow, gentle breathing exercises before sleep are also highly effective. You don't need to be an expert. Simply sit still, close your eyes, and breathe slowly for 3 to 5 minutes. That alone can reduce sympathetic nervous activity, helping both body and mind enter a restful state. Additionally, building a nighttime spiritual or mental habit, such as reading an inspiring passage, listening to soft music, or offering a prayer, can create a positive mental frame, reducing the chance of the mind drifting when waking in the night. And if you do wake up at 3 a.m., avoid checking the clock or reaching for your phone. These actions only make you more alert. Instead, stay still, focus on your breath, or quietly repeat a calming affirmation, such as, "I am safe," "I am loved," or "I allow myself to rest." These inner whispers can act like a soft blanket for the soul, gently guiding you back to sleep. Sleep is not just a physical matter, it is a spiritual journey. When we learn to befriend our emotions, to listen to what the mind is saying, and to allow ourselves to release, sleep returns as a gift, not a struggle. And if you've ever thought that waking at 3 a.m. is just an inconvenient part of aging, I hope these insights help you see it instead as a reminder that it's time to care for both your body and your spirit, so that each night becomes not a battle, but an opportunity for true rest, renewal, and peace. Thank you for staying with me until the end of this program. Together, we've explored the common reasons why older adults often wake up at 3 a.m., from the decline of melatonin, shifts in the circadian rhythm, to physical discomforts, daily habits, and even the quiet emotional waves that rise in the stillness of night. Each factor may affect us differently, but they all share one thing in common. They can be improved if we take the time to understand and make gentle, intentional changes. Sleep is not merely a state of rest. It is a mirror reflecting our overall health, emotional well-being, and quality of life. So don't be too quick to accept waking at 3 a.m. as something normal that must be endured. Instead, see it as a quiet reminder from your body that it's time to take deeper care of yourself. What did you learn from this content? Did something resonate with you or spark a thought you'd like to share? I would love to hear your reflections, because every story, every experience is a precious source of inspiration for this growing community. If you found this video helpful, please click like and share it with loved ones, especially those struggling with sleepless nights for unknown reasons. A small action from you could make a big difference in someone else's life. Stay with me for the next episodes, where we'll continue to explore more about health, inner peace, and how to live more meaningfully each day. And remember, it